Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. The Curse of Oak Island. A strange new structure leads to huge artifact haul as new tunnel unearthed. As the Curse of Oak Island team searched for an offset chamber, Gary Drayton uncovered a mysterious bounty of artifacts indicating high levels of historical activity on the eastern side of the island. Last night's episode began with the arrival of the Dumas mining crew, who appeared eager to get to work on excavating and stabilizing the garden shaft. Rick Lagina thanked them, wished them luck, and then left them to their work. Meanwhile, the guys, led by Terry Matheson and Charles Barkhouse, continued drilling in their search for a tunnel connected to the garden shaft, and they were not disappointed. The discovery of part of a wood beam at a shallow depth of 70 feet led them to believe they'd hit a new tunnel. This is particularly interesting because there is no record in the historical documents of any structures built at this depth. This discovery instantly fed into Marty Lagina's theory of a secret offset chamber that he believes the depositors may have constructed at a shallow depth, away from the water and the flood traps, and filled with treasure. Craig Tester is very quick these days with the carbon-14 dating, and he had some more good news about the wood they uncovered at 70 feet. The majority of the dating pointed to wood from the 1700s to the mid-1800s, meaning it was very likely researcher tunneling. The guys will definitely do their best to locate more of the tunnel along with any secret chambers, and once the Dumas mining crew have stabilized the garden shaft, they will then be able to perform some horizontal tunneling, which will hopefully help the Fellowship uncover any secret tunnels and chambers. Scanning unearths mystery structure, which leads to a trove of artifacts. In the meantime, the guys got some results back from the LiDAR scanning done a few weeks ago. Through the use of a drone, the team had the entire island scanned in the hope of creating a map of any previously missed structures or formations. Geologist Dr. Ian Spooner and surveyor Steve Guptill have already examined some of the data, and they've noted a mysterious rectangular shape on Lot 30 on the western side of the island. It's a massive 100 feet by 150 feet. Ian points out that it's too rectangular to be a natural feature, and Gary Drayton points out that it's quite close to the ancient ship's wharf discovered on Lot 32. Resident archaeologist Laird Niven suggested that he and the archaeology team immediately get their trowels out and begin examining what it might be. The high number of artifacts means there was a lot of historical activity. This discovery led indirectly to Gary and Jack Begley performing some metal detecting on the nearby Lot 32, right by the seashore. And oh my, if they didn't hit a bonanza of artifacts. So much so that Marty, Rick, and Laird joined them with the digger. While working in a very small area, they pulled artifact after artifact out of the ground. It must have been approximately 10 different items. There were a lot of iron items that they suspected may have been related to a stove or a grate. But there were also some maritime artifacts, such as lead sheeting, which has been used on ship hulls since ancient Greece. The proximity of these finds to the old ship's wharf and the mysterious rectangular structure on Lot 30 led to the guys determining there must be a link. The fog rolled in thick and heavy over Oak Island, shrouding the treetops and concealing the island's rugged terrain in a ghostly veil. As dawn crept over the horizon, the silhouettes of Rick and Marty Lagina stood against the mist, their eyes scanning the ground with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation. Today was a new day, and a new dig was about to begin. For years, the Lagina brothers had dedicated themselves to unraveling the mysteries of Oak Island, sifting through centuries of lore, legend, and secrets buried beneath the earth. The fabled treasure hunt had taken them deep into the island's history, through tales of pirates, hidden vaults, and ancient curses. But nothing could have prepared them for the strange new structure they discovered just days ago, hidden beneath layers of rock and earth, in an area they had long overlooked. A structure unlike any they had seen before, It was composed of interlocking stone blocks arranged in a peculiar pattern, almost like a gateway leading into the unknown. It seemed out of place, as if it were not built by human hands, but rather carved by nature itself, or something far more mysterious. The team's metal detectors buzzed with frantic energy, the signals stronger and more numerous than they had ever encountered. Gary Drayton, the expert metal detectorist, was the first to catch sight of it. His eyes widened as he waved his detector over the strange formation, his ears tuned to the steady beep-beep-beep that grew faster with every sweep. "We're onto something big here, mate," he muttered under his breath, the excitement barely contained in his voice. Rick and Marty gathered the team, and with a nod from Rick, the heavy machinery roared to life, the ground trembling as they began to dig. Shovelful by shovelful, inch by inch, they peeled back the layers of history. The sun climbed higher, burning through the fog, and by midday, the entrance to a tunnel was unearthed, a tunnel that appeared to lead deeper into the earth than any they had previously discovered. It was narrow and dark, the walls slick with moisture, and the air was thick with the smell of damp earth and ancient wood. Cautiously, they inched forward, their flashlights piercing the darkness. The tunnel seemed to go on forever, snaking and winding in a labyrinthine pattern that seemed to defy logic. And then, as if by some strange alignment of fate, the ground beneath their feet gave way. Rick stumbled forward, catching himself on a jagged piece of stone. His heart pounded in his chest as he looked around. He had landed in a chamber, a vast underground space that stretched out before him like a cathedral carved from the living rock. Marty followed, his flashlight sweeping across the walls. What they saw made them gasp. Embedded in the walls were countless objects, glittering in the pale beam of their flashlights. Artifacts of every description: old coins, rusted weapons, intricate carvings, and pieces of what appeared to be long-forgotten machinery. "Look at this, Rick!" Marty exclaimed, pulling a mud-covered relic from the earth. It was a golden medallion, adorned with strange symbols and glyphs. "Could this be Templar?" Rick whispered, a hint of disbelief in his voice. They had long speculated about a possible connection to the Knights Templar, but this find seemed to confirm it. And there were so many more objects, half buried in the dirt and stone around them. They had stumbled upon a veritable treasure trove. Word spread quickly through the team, and soon everyone was in the chamber, carefully examining the artifacts. Laird Niven, the archaeologist, handled each piece with care, meticulously cataloging everything they found. "This is unlike anything we've ever seen," he murmured, brushing dirt away from a silver chalice that gleamed with an eerie light. But the real discovery lay at the end of the chamber, a massive stone door covered in strange markings and symbols that seemed to shift and change in the flickering light. It was unlike any door they had ever seen on Oak Island, and it radiated a strange, almost palpable energy. Jack Begley, always the adventurer, stepped forward to examine the door more closely. "What do you think is behind it?" he asked, his voice filled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "I don't know," Rick replied, his eyes never leaving the door. "But I have a feeling this is what we've been looking for, the key to the whole mystery." They set to work immediately, examining the markings, trying to decipher their meaning. The symbols seemed to be a mixture of ancient languages. Some they recognized, others they had never seen before. Doug Crowell, the researcher, pored over books and documents, cross-referencing everything they had gathered over the years. "There's definitely something here," he said, his finger tracing a line of symbols. "But it's going to take time to figure it out."